The other day you go, hey man, the American dream is not dead.
I don't think
Anybody who says that the American dream is dead, you
out
tell
of
them
their
to come
mind.
talk to me.
It's out of their mind.
This is how to do that.
Yeah.
This is the practical steps to get scaling.
I didn't even know we were done until years later. My wife goes, "Oh, we were done."
Oh,
like we were no. You didn't know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you
didn't know?
didn't know.
Oh, well, let me tell you,
We were done.
done, and I told the Lord, if something doesn't happen, this is my wife. She says, if something doesn't happen, if I don't see a change by next week, I'm done. And she told me we were on borrowed time.
Yeah,
Like,
might as well get it started.
guy who works for me, he's a good kid, and he's like 24, kind of, he's proposed to his girlfriend, he's got a fiance, she's about to have a baby and all that, and it's like, he is who he is. He's a great worker, like me. He's probably not going to be like a doctor or anything anytime soon. It's just is who he is. He's a manual labor, just like me. And but like he's realized, like, oh, I like doing this, kind of like how I did like 10 years ago. He's like, I like doing this, and so he takes it seriously. So like I'll go by the properties he does after he's done. Like I'll leave him a list at the end of the day, and I'll check on it, and it's like, that looks just as good as if I was to do it, maybe even better. And he's telling me the other day, like, his sister, there's a lot of backstory, but basically his sister was saying something, and she was corrected by another family member, and they used JJ as the benchmark. They're like, you look at him. Look, he's got his stuff together. You do not. He's got a job. He's got a hat. They're just going down the line, and I'm like, this is incredible. I never would have thought that was the kind of future this kid had, but he just shows up to work, and he works hard, and he's like a go do that kind of guy, and he goes and does it. And now he's like the benchmark in his family. Like, they're comparing the older siblings and the younger siblings. Like, basically, why don't you be more like JJ?
That's not where he came from.
It is incredible to think like what Jesus did to this kid. Like, and it was all just because he decided, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to do this with my life, and he does it. So you're like, I'm just glad I get to be a part of it. I get to watch Jesus do something cool and go,
you're more than a part of it.
Yeah.
You're right in the thick of it, which is why I got you on today.
No, okay. Listen, I know you got like questions.
I got plenty of questions.
You got questions loaded up, but listen, I know this is your little podcasting thing.
This my little podcasting business going on.
Your little podcast.
Oh, I'm honored.
You got a little podcasting business now, and so I thought I'd help you out with some topic. Dude, I'd prayed. I was like, all right, Lord, like, just in case we run out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, we will not.
Just in case.
That's not the problem.
Just in case, super lighthearted
okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Just in case we get lost. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't want it, just say pass. Okay.
Okay.
Just say pass.
Pass.
First one, transubstantiation.
Solid pass. I'm actually gonna have to go define that again.
You don't know what transubstantiation is?
Spell it.
Well, yeah.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Okay, so transubstantiation is a very big Catholic belief that during communion, the bread and the wine turns into the body of Christ.
Okay.
So it's lighthearted.
Lighthearted. Light topic.
So no, you don't want to talk about that?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Post-trib or pre-trib?
What's post?
Post is we get taken before.
Okay.
And after.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, post.
Post.
And then pre is we get taken before. So
before what? Before the rapture?
Before, yeah. So are we raptured before the the end time stuff?
Okay. I've got a firm and definite stance on that. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, that's it. Yeah or nay? You want to pass or you want to?
Oh no, we probably shouldn't talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. So far you're batting 1,000.
Okay. Aliens in the Bible.
Oh, so you did a Google search on this one because that is recommended to me as a topic idea all the time.
Are we jacking the same algorithm?
I guess so.
Oh,
Dude,
cool.
I go home at night and I'm like, Jason and I were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's And then wait, I sent you a video the other day, and you were like, it was like you were about to send it to me. I forget what it was, but it was nonsense. It was just pure nonsense.
I feel bad for the folks who bite off on that. Like, I will see those videos online. It's like, aliens in the Bible, let's talk about it. And I'm like, no.
No, don't do it. Well, we'll shelf that one. Okay. But millennials are better than Gen X. You want?
I mean, go ahead.
No, these are topics.
These topics? Okay.
Topics,
Yeah.
but just in case you get lost.
Podcast 2 with you on that one.
Podcast. Okay, yeah. So next time. Okay, I'll have some more.
These are words from the Lord, you say?
No, I mean, I just want to be. Listen, I don't come to this podcast to be called out, and okay, you don't need you call me out. They're topics.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have said.
Don't want to say good ones. They were just.
I didn't say. Well, I shouldn't have said. If I said it, words from the Lord. Rewind the tape back. I don't know. Maybe I did or didn't. But okay. Well, I'll have these ready for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've got one or two ready for you, but
shoot.
Start by saying,
go.
Jason Ogle, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Your little podcast business.
My little podcast business. Maybe you should give some clarity on that in a minute. But first, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
Most business owners,
listening
to this podcast are going to struggle with knowing when to hold them and when to fold them.
Explain.
You ever heard that Kitty Rogers?
Yeah, I know the song. It's
just when to hold them. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Boy. All right. Most business owners are going to struggle with that, but you seem to have cornered the market on knowing when to make serious decisions. You just have a confidence about it. I think it's the Lord, but I'm going to let you answer that. You have a confidence about this. Can you give them some key nuggets on how you do that?
Okay.
What's your process, man?
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have you ask this again, but I was thinking about this. I was working this morning, and it was raining, and it's currently Memorial Day, and no one's working, so I'm out. I had to go work and do a little work, and I thought, what am I even going to say on this thing? Like, I know he's going to ask me serious questions like this. I'm like, Lord, I feel like the Michael Scott of landscapers in Stephenville, Texas. Like, I'm being serious. I think the kids would call that imposter syndrome, whatever they say. I don't know. It's yeah. No, I seriously feel like
you got to give that main character
entering into this conversation.
You got to go Ohio Riz from
like kids, man. So entering into this conversation, just know I have zero confidence in my abilities. Zero. I've Jared's wife swears I have ADHD. She has a solid case, just a solid,
fairly
solid. I have ADHD. When I talk to people, I don't look in their face. Like, they think I'm uninterested in what they're saying. I do zero advertising compared to my competitors. I would say at human level down here, I do everything opposite. So I feel like the Michael Scott. Like, how is this guy still in the game? That's how I feel.
Maybe that's the title of this podcast. So, the Michael Scott
of lawn care.
That's
how I feel. Like, I think my redeeming quality is, like, I try my best not to make excuses. And so, like, this morning, backstory, this last weekend, me and my guy were swarmed by what we think are my guy is JJ Prado. He's the best.
Going straight into names.
He's JJ Prado. He is.
You can find him at 254.
But JJ's not his real name. So
there you go.
It's not. So
he's ahead of the game.
He's not his alias. So yeah, he's got alias. So JJ.
Well, Jared's not my real name either.
Yeah. Or we're doing Schmerid.
We're doing our fake names. Okay.
So he this last week, I think it was Friday, we were swarmed by what we were pretty sure are Africanized bees. And so he got stung up in the face. And so then we just, and then his face, he looked like a newborn baby. His face was all swollen. If you ever seen a newborn baby, it's just face is swollen. So we tried to work, and the heat just made it worse. So by the end of the day, he looked like Rocky Balboa. His eyes just completely shut. And then, So anyways, so we inevitably got behind because he couldn't really work. So all that to say, I found myself Memorial Day morning, trimming bushes and just cleaning up one of the contracts I have because that's just part of it. Like, I try not to make too many excuses. Like, that's a good one. Hey, we got swarmed by African bees. I could capitalize on that excuse
I have
big time.
so many questions that we'll not dive into. Otherwise,
No, we need to.
this becomes a Theo Vaughn podcast about bees and baby phases and stuff. Not gonna go there, but I do want to know. So what would you call that? Like, just doing what it takes?
Yeah, I don't know if you like gumption or
Okay.
drive or something. I don't know. And I was thinking about it this morning. I'm trimming these bushes. It's about to rain. Lightning strikes like a half mile from me. It's pretty cool actually. And Memorial Day, and I realized like, oh, I like genuinely don't hate what I do. Like, there's stress. Don't get me wrong. Like right now it's raining. Everything's growing. We're just inevitably behind every day, no matter what. And my eye is twitching non-stop. My eye just twitches. It just twitches from the stress and probably copious amounts of caffeine.
I was going to say the Red Bull has nothing to do with it.
No Red Bulls.
You weaned yourself off the Red Bull?
I haven't had Red Bull in like 3 years. So I had these kidney stones. No, gallstones. I had gallstones. Right? And
I'm seeing the Michael Scott parallel.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I had gallstones. And the only thing I could really track it back to was just the amount of Bang energy drinks I drink a day. And I'm like, something tells me that if I just really lay off these, like maybe, I wouldn't have any more issues. And then I stopped, and maybe they're still floating around in there somewhere, but,
Guaranteed
they're in there. They're like bats. They're just hanging from my gallstone, ready to attack.
Bobby Kennedy is somewhere going, oh yeah, they're in there.
And you're autistic. Look at you.
The aluminum, the microplastics.
And the Bang energy drinks.
You were talking about ADHD, and there's your problem.
Yeah. No, I'm the poster child for Bobby Kennedy and autism and the whole thing. Like, that's the guy I was talking about. Anytime I'm in front of Congress, that's the guy I'm talking about, that guy. So, what were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, cool. So, no, I remember. So, just found myself, this morning. I don't genuinely hate what I do. I'm probably lucky because I actually like kind of like what I do, and I like serving my customers. So,
I think that's huge, man. What I've been learning in all the schools and classes that I've been taking to try and get better at my craft is there's one common core nugget, and it's what you just said right there.
Yeah,
it's having a genuine care. Yeah, for humanity. And in particular, if you could serve somebody extra special well, it would be your clients.
Yeah.
Which is kind of two subjects I want to dive into with you today. You have an uncanny ability to train up whoever's sitting in the truck with you.
Yeah.
That's both spiritually, emotionally, like you walk them through the gambit while they're learning alongside you. But you also you instill in them that work ethic that you were talking about, and like this desire to serve your clientele as if they were you, at the highest level. I think those are some of the things to add to the gumption that really makes the success of Restoration Lawn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna plant that
shameless plug
mid roll as to why you should listen. Seriously, why you are one of the many reasons as to why you're an expert in the field is you've got a handle on that, man. You can train up young talent, and you serve. I've never seen another business owner serve at the level that you serve to make sure that
I tried to. Happen. I think it goes back to what you said about serving the clients and stuff. Like, there's a couple years ago, I tried to do a big jump, try to get some more licensing, and it just didn't work out. And I figured out, Lord showed me that my motivation was all wrong. And then I'm also, and you've walked with me. I've been doing this 10 years now. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah, 2015. That's when I started. I had a mower in the back of my Bronco, reeked of gas. It was awesome. So in the last 10 years, when a couple years ago I tried to make a big jump with different licensing and all that, it just didn't work out. I was asking the Lord about that a couple weeks ago, and he was just like, yeah, your motivation was off. Like I couldn't let you, do not pass go. one of those deals.
We gotta fix this first.
It really was. It came back to that the client thing. My motivation at that moment was like money. Just want to make as much money as possible. And so he just was like, sit down, Junior. Like, we gotta, you bench me, so to speak. And, but people, that was the other one. Like, that was the big one. It was the people, like specifically the ones that worked for me. Like, at the time I watched a lot of YouTube. Surprisingly, there's a big like lawn care, YouTube sphere.
Probably because we're in the same rabbit hole, but I've been down it, man.
So I remember one guy going, I'm not gonna pay some guy all this money to run a trimmer. And I kind of like tapped into that. I'm like, yeah, they're just running a trimmer. Like, what? Like, you need special skill. Well, until I realized, like, oh, the guy running my trimmer sometimes, like, equally represents me and my brand. So why wouldn't I want that guy to be happy? Like, why wouldn't I want that guy to feel respected, the whole bit? And that's when I started, like, so in the past, the first few guys, I didn't pay as much. And then now it's like, I got this kid working for me. He's a good kid. And he was kind of a backstory on JJ, alias JJ, which is he kind of was just a day laborer. He just he worked these random jobs here, worked them there, 2 months here, 3 months there, 4 months there. And he'd go, like a month without a job before he found a new one. And he'd get let go by certain jobs because of whatever reasons. And so when I found this kid, I found him through church. His grandma goes to our church, and she's like, he really needs a job. And at the time,
that's my thing, man. That's my thing about church, because everybody's like, oh, well, I don't go to church. So I'm not into it. Like, dude, your girlfriend's probably at church. Your future wife's probably at church.
So good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
my sanity's at church.
Well, obviously. I mean, don't get me wrong. Priority one is Jesus. I get that part. But I mean, like, as far as connection, your business opportunities, like, those are the people that you want to be served at the highest level. They're there. Coworkers, potential employee, they're all there.
Yeah.
Business partners, they're at church.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. So anyway, I'm not shocked. I don't think anybody else is that you found the gym at church. Actually, you had 2 or 3 gyms along the way.
Yeah.
They just weren't called to landscaping like
no,
this kid is. This kid's a landscaping beast.
Yeah, I'll have to watch out. When he finally figures it out, like, he may venture off and do his own thing, and then we'll
make it sweet for him.
He'll be a competitor. So, no, yeah, I have the same sentiment. I don't know why. I was thinking that the other day, just like kind of rabbit trail, but like we kind of have this thing where we're like, oh, if that person left the church, they would lose their mind. I'm like, all of us would. I don't care what hierarchy. I don't care if you're the pastor, the apostle, whatever your system is. If I don't have this church, the one I'm in, like,
I would lose my mind.
And you're the pastor of the church we go to.
That's what I tell you guys every Sunday. I'm like, I need you.
Yes.
Like, not only, like, yes, I need Jesus alone for sure.
Yes.
But I need you.
I need you.
I would go absolutely stinking insane if I didn't have somebody like Jason and Dave and Casey calling me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to go, it's not good, boss, or how are you doing?
Yeah, or you, vice versa, like you calling me going like, that ain't good. It ain't good.
I mean, like, how many people, just think about that though, like how many people call you not because they need something, they need you to come cut their grass and need you to do a thing for them, but they're just checking in to say, hey.
Oh, there's so many times, I don't know if this is what you're asking, but there's so many times where like Jesus just uses what we do, like what I do, like, protect change the names and protect the innocent, I guess. But like, there's one woman in particular, she's just in a hard season of life. She's not a believer, in our sense, and, she's just in this hard place in her life where she's having to make decisions for family members. And so I'm on her property regularly, and I'm dealing with the family members she's talking about. So I have to, we keep each other informed. So no one gets surprised. So, she keeps me up to date. She's telling me all the stuff, recent stuff that's going on, and inevitably it's getting worse and worse. And she's just telling me, like, basically how everyone has an opinion about the way she's doing this. And I'm just like, in the background, I'm going, geez, I know you have an opinion. Like I know, if I say, "Thus saith the Lord," like I'm sure it'll be somewhat accepted. But when you're for some reason, this makes no sense, but you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like, it has to be Jesus, because when your lawn guy says, "You're doing a good job," and they start to weep over the phone, I don't know how else you explain that other than Jesus, like other than God trying to like speak to you.
This is where I want to go.
Because like, outside of any other reason, your lawn guy said, "You do a good job." It's like, that means nothing. That means nothing unless there's a power behind it trying to say something to you.
That.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
I don't know. Part of it is just getting up in the morning. Like, everyone has to get up in the morning. Like, if I'm being honest, I'm a pretty sedentary person, if that's the right word. Okay. Man, I love sitting. Bro. You said, hold on, you said, "Hey, I want you to come sit for an hour and a half to 2 hours on a podcast." I'm like, I get to sit? Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll wear whatever you want. I love sitting. Like, that's kind of part of how, like, now, like, I work real hard, but also, like, if you were to ask me, like, one of my favorite things to do, it's to sit and do nothing. Be completely disconnected.
Totally wouldn't have seen that. I've only seen you on the go.
Oh, yeah. No. It was at Logan the other day. We were walking into a store. He goes, "Man, you're like 5'7", but you have the stride of somebody that's like 6'5". How are you this fast?" I'm like, dude, it's just all like, you're just going.
It's trying to keep up with the walk behind.
Yeah, exactly.
No pedal.
All the safeties are gone. So, yeah, to answer the question, I don't know. I think part of it's just waking up and doing what you know needs to be done, serving your clients. For me, it's like loving my wife. Trying to love my wife to the best ability, love my kids as the best of my ability, and then here recently, like, I've had this word the Lord's been like reminding me of over and over again the last year. He's like, "I want your mind." I'm like, "What does that mean? You want me to read more?" Okay, cool. Like, I read a lot. So, like, you want me to read more? Yeah, no problem. And it's like, that's never been necessarily the thing. It never felt like, oh, this is what it was. But it was like, it wasn't until Saturday when I'm working. So JJ's down. He got bit by Africanized bees. He got stung by Africanized bees. The jobs are still there. They still have to get done. So I woke up Saturday, 6 a.m. to go mow this big ranch. Then I'm listening to this song. We ended up playing it Sunday morning about going to the altar, and it doesn't matter like what you have, just bring it. It's enough, And I'm just like, I thank God I'm in the middle of this field and not a lot of people, because I'm just weeping. I'm just weeping and worshiping Jesus. And he goes, "I want your attention." And I'm like, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's what you mean. Like, reading, that's great. Read, great. But I want your attention. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I guess with all that new information, answer your question, like, I think I just wake up and try to pay attention to the Lord and where he's leading me. So, like, the other day, there's just a ton of stuff to do, and I'm asking the Lord, like, how do you want to do this? Like, what do you want me to do? And it was a genuine question, because there was so much to do, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to do this? And he's, kind of gave me a divide and conquer strategy. Like, you go this way, send him that way. And then luckily we got, outside of, getting stung by Africanized bees, like, we stayed fairly caught up with everything that's going on. So I guess I try to pay attention to the Lord no matter what's going on, no matter how stressed I am, no matter how bad my eye's twitching, no matter how many,
so you're saying,
no matter how many bees we get stung by, no matter how many people are screaming.
You didn't see the bees as the enemy coming against you?
No, man.
In the name of Jesus.
I don't know if I can. Like, that's the problem. Like, the last time I had a serious, like, breakdown, like crying on my office floor, was the drought a couple years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
Year 7?
Yeah.
It's like, that was year 7 for me, and there's this drought.
How long did it not rain for?
The whole summer. We kind of had like a light rain in April, everything came out of dormancy like it usually does during the spring, but then it just like, no, nothing. All the way until like, I think it was fall. Like there was nothing. And I was looking, me and my wife were looking at, like Social Security stuff, like how much we've contributed so far, all that responsible adult crap you got to do. And she goes, yeah, this year said you made this much. It was like significantly lower. I'm like, that was the year. You remember that year? She goes, oh yeah, that's it. It was like, how did we survive?
So that's what I want to ask you.
Yeah.
There have been some, and maybe just dig in the archives, there have been some significant purchases. There have been some times, like he told you to stop, with the school thing, where you made those decisions that seemed to me to, like in the moment, to be like so bold, direction changing for your company, your family, like your whole family hangs in the balance. Can you walk us through a couple of those times, or maybe just some of the major decisions? You've gone into like tons of detail on it, but just like, what does that process look like? Are you nervous when you get into it? Do you have the audible voice of the Lord going, Jason, you need to take out this loan on this bit of equipment, or Jason, I don't want you going into irrigation. I want you going into this facet. Like, how does that work for you?
I don't know. A lot of this is like millennial free association, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I'm living life. I'm on the path I know, like the Lord has me on right now. And then,
how do you know that?
I guess I just wake up, like I said earlier, like with just a certain amount of confidence. Like,
confidence in what?
I'm supposed to wake up and serve my customers, pay attention to Jesus.
How do you know that?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he said, like, okay, so the origin story of Restoration Lawn.
Okay.
The origin story is, I just got out of Bible college, whatever. Don't. That's like three podcasts. That's like three podcasts. Okay, so like just got out of Bible college.
Put that trauma over here.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I just got out of Bible college. I was so burnt out. Like, just imagine being in a system where like the Spirit is heavily emphasized, but you've come to realize like you've never really felt that Spirit. And I am, how would you say this? I am culturally awkward. Like, when me and Dave were in India, I'd said something about being cultured, and Dave laughed. And then he goes, not in this culture. And I said, well, not really in my culture either. Like, I'm kind of weird in my culture. And he's like, yeah, that's true. I'm like, so I didn't really fit into the Christian culture at the time. I would think it was because of my honesty. Like, I'd come in and be like, hey, pornography, right, guys? You dealing with it? You dealing with it?
We're going to talk about
it. And everyone's doing one of these. It's like, no, it's like, I felt like they were genuine conversations to have, but in bringing those conversations up, you've just outed yourself.
Yeah.
But nobody was willing to out themselves. And I'm not saying I'm like better because I was willing to be honest. I'm just saying like I was willing to have a conversation. No one else was. And so I came out of Bible college of just being burnt out off of that. Just being like, I need someone to like help me along with this addiction, And so me and my wife were like, we felt like we were supposed to move to Stephenville. And when we got here, started going to a church, our church, and the voice of the Lord is heavily emphasized. And so, long story short, it's that, like the voice of the Lord. I will go a direction I feel like I'm supposed to, but I have no problem backtracking when he says, I didn't want that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll backtrack. We'll go this direction then.
So you're willing to free associate, I think is what you call it. You're willing to free associate with Jesus and assume, I'm just don't want to put words in your mouth, so correct me at any of this if I'm off. You're just assuming that like his will is towards you in your business. I want to hear about the restoration start.
Yeah.
His will is towards you in your business. And as you wake up, you invite him into
to the best of my ability. Yeah.
the conversation,
Yeah.
and you're trusting that what comes to your mind and comes to your heart that feels holy is the direction you're supposed to take?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, essentially, yes. So, like, I have different, like, I have a contractor who does irrigation work, and he kind of told me something that didn't feel like it was very honoring to my customer, because she had asked for something to be done with irrigation. I legally cannot do it, so I sent her over to my contractor, and when he called me to tell me about this problem, and it was like, it just didn't feel like super honoring towards my customer. So now the conversation is like, do I still use this guy?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like you really like honored my customer in this aspect, and I want to be able to say, like, I know it's his business, his way, however he wants to do his business, that's his decision, but like, I'd want to know, like, there's a certain honoring, going on to my customer that I've just sent you to.
Yeah.
So
learning to hear the voice of the Lord is heavily emphasized there at Grace. And when did restoration start?
Okay, so I got this big, like, injection of freedom. Like, I thought I knew the voice of the Lord, and then just one day, like, me and my wife went through this really bad time our 4th year, and it was one of those make or breaks. Like, we're done. Like, I didn't even know we were done until years later. My wife goes, "Oh, we were done." Like, we didn't know. You didn't know?
Oh,
you didn't
know?
Oh, well, let me tell you.
We were done.
We were done, and I told the Lord, if something doesn't happen, this is my wife. She says, if something doesn't happen, if I don't see a change by next week, I'm done. And she told me we were on borrowed time. Ooh. And I'm like, whoa. So, like, so what happened? This is like 10 years in. Like, I was like, so what happened? She goes, by next week, there was a different man standing in front of me. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's good to hear.
That is good to hear.
That is good to hear. So I get this huge amount of freedom. I'm working at Starbucks. No, I'm working at a hotel, and huge amount of freedom. I think soon after that, I was working at a hotel like 30, 40 minutes away. It's a super long way. So then this, coffee shop chain opened up. I don't know if we could say their name.
What's Starbucks?
Schmarbucks.
Schmarbucks. Saint Arbucks?
Yeah, Saint Arbucks. They had a position, so I filled it out, and I thought, oh, great. So I got it. I was working there about a year, which even the Starbucks thing, like, I think the Lord uses it all. Now on this side, I think the Lord just uses it all, like, no matter what. So when I was at Starbucks, I was at Starbucks for 4 years. But after the first year, there was this, we had an elder in the church, and we had our second child after working at Starbucks for about a year. There's, Judah. Well, he got done shredding that field. He's been shredding that field, man.
Proud dad moment.
Yeah, and every time we said shredding the field, we go. Sorry,
elder.
Yeah, so elder Sam. I after my second son was born, my first son, second child. We felt voice of the Lord. We felt like Danielle was supposed to stay home, and it's like we just moved into this house, and it's like, so here we go. Like, this was one. Well, I heard this.
Oh, you heard this?
I heard this, but it was on Danielle's heart anyway. She never like pushed it. Like, she was totally willing to go back to work, but I heard the Lord say, and this is like, I wouldn't say it's like that first year. I had a lot of like make or break moments. It's like, you gonna do it? Like, this is me. Like, come on, this is I'm asking you. And so I felt like the Lord said Danielle's supposed to stay home. Well, when we crunched the budget, we're like,
you're working at Saint Arbucks.
Yeah, making garbage, just money, just like you can feed a cat on what I was making. Like, it was terrible. You couldn't feed a herd of goats. Like, it was. I don't know how we made it. So I decided. Well, I got my Bronco, and I had to buy all this lawn equipment.
Such a flash. Got my Bronco.
Yeah, I have a Bronco. So I had to buy all this equipment to keep my house up because I had a lawn now. So I had a trimmer and a push mower and a
That
blower.
thing smelled like straight
That
gasoline.
thing smelled like a
The
refinery.
entire time.
Smelled like a refinery. And so I decided I'll just go mow some lawns because we were like, when we crunched the budget, we were like negative $50 or something. I mean, this was like a scorched earth budget. No one was doing nothing.
Which is your wife's true gift right there. She is able to run that entire household on nothing.
Yeah.
And now you'll have something because you're a successful businessman. But she still runs that house on absolutely nothing.
I tell her all the time, I'm like, you could run a master class on making a budget.
Oh, man.
Like making a food budget.
Every time I come over, I'm like, this is amazing. What did you make?
Yeah.
Must have cost a fortune. She's like, a couple cans of beans.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, she makes it work. Yeah. No, she makes it work. We tell people how much it costs to feed a family of 6. For instance, she had lunch with a young woman. They just started a family. They have 1 kid, 1 baby. And so there's 3 of them, mom, dad, baby. And they start talking about budgets. And Danielle said, yeah, we spend X amount for the 6 of us. And the woman just loses her mind. It's like, that's how much we spend for the 3 of us.
Ooh.
How on earth do you do that? And I'm telling her, like, Danielle, like, you can charge for this information. Like, you could capitalize on this.
Actually, tell her to reach out. I got her.
Because she was on some kind of Instagram thread or something, and she had dropped that. Yeah, I spend about blah, blah, blah. And there's all these girls like, commenting. It was like 100+ comments off her comment. That's a lie. There's no way. That's impossible. It's like, no, we do.
I'm masterfully at it.
It's like
You're in the Bronco.
Yeah.
She's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it's $50 short.
Yeah, so I go and I decide I'm going to go mow some lawns. I'm like, so I just kind of put the word out there. And the only reason why I thought of that is because this elder had me, that was it. Starbucks was renovating.
St. Arbucks, please.
St. Arbucks was renovating. And they came to us and said, hey, we're closed for the week. You can drive all the way up to Granbury, which is 40 minutes away, which is where I was working before. And I was like, I ain't driving all the way to Granbury again. Absolutely not. I'll find some work to do. Well, this elder found out. He's like, yeah, I got some work for you. So he plopped my butt on a mower. He goes, go mow that field. And it was terrible. And that's the first time. Oh, it was terrible. And that was
the
first
field, the experience, the whole 9?
Huh?
What was terrible?
It was long. It needed a tractor. It needed a shredder. I mean, if you know, you know. Like, it's one of those like fields like that they would only shred like twice a year. Yeah. So if you know, you know. It's like it's not like a golf course. It should be a hay field. And so he puts me on this mower, and I'm just out there, and I'm just loving every second of this because I'm like, I've just got all this freedom. I'm like working hard for my family. We're following the voice of the Lord. And now I'm sitting on this mower, just zero turn, just having fun. So anyways, after a while I thought, okay, I think I want to like actually do this. So I started like putting my name out there more. And so I asked the Lord, I'm like, I think I want to do this. Is this okay? He's like, yeah, go for it. So I felt a release to at least start making some side money for my family. Well, then the elder, he heard about that. I told him, I was like, yeah, I think I'm actually going to start doing, lawn care, that kind of stuff. And he's like, awesome. He goes, I have this one company in town and they do all my stuff. He goes, you can do all that stuff now. And I'm like, what? Like, this is nuts. He goes, I'll let you use my trailer and the zero turn that I let you use the other day.
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Holy night.
Yeah.
I forgot about
You forgot about all that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He basically set you up with everything you needed.
Yeah,
to get out of the Bronco.
Yeah. So he
and we borrowed. But think about this. Part of what I'm hoping you inspire in a young Christian entrepreneur is this pathway. It's not what I love about you. The other day you go, hey man, the American dream is not dead.
I don't think
anybody who says that the American dream is dead, you
out
tell
of
them
their
to come
mind.
talk to me.
It's out of their mind.
this is how to do that.
Yeah.
This is the practical steps to get scaling.
It's
You found a contact at church who was willing to let you work for
at church.
Just say it. Same contact
Yeah.
wants to bless you
Yeah.
and get you started, let you borrow some things.
Yeah.
You could, if you couldn't borrow that from them, because I don't know anybody who has maybe you could pay for it. You would have found a way to get started in the business because you knew that equipment was sitting there idle.
Yeah. Well, he offered it, and that's the thing. I never asked for it.
Wow.
But he just found out. I said, yeah, I think I want to do that. I got a little push mower. And he goes, yeah, well, I'll give you all my stuff. And I'm like, hey, I can't.
You were the guy with the Lincoln and the push mower hanging out the back.
Oh, yeah.
Come do it for
And
$25.
my Buick LeSabre. I got that imagery going.
Yes.
So he gave me this, like, basically these, like, 2 commercial accounts right off the bat. One was his big ranch. And then the other one was his, he was a veterinarian, which I still have that contract to this day. His daughter bought the veterinary clinic from him, and I still have that contact. We were joking about that the other day, me and his daughter. Because the truth is...
That's like thousands of dollars over the years.
Oh, yeah, thousands. The truth is that mower wasn't actually his.
Oh. Tell me it was hers or family.
It was so his wife just passed, but they had this big 1,000-acre ranch, something like that, big cattle ranch. Well, the mom that just passed, in the past, her and the daughter had bought this mower, the ones that lived on the ranch. So he would tell me, yeah, I'd call him up because I just want to be sure, hey, is it okay if I go pick the mower up? Absolutely, just pull up. It's up at my daughter's house. So I'd pull up to her house.
The rightful owner.
The half rightful owner, right? Go, hey, where's your mower at?
Thinking it was his.
That she was borrowing it, now I'm borrowing it. No, it was hers. And this Yahoo and a Bronco and a trailer.
Also at church, we need to talk about the messiness of
the
relationships.
actually. Well, this like homeless looking guy in a Bronco pulls up, and
oh, bro, I forgot you had the full mane going back then.
I did not.
You used to rock a
full beard, and then I had like hair all the way down to here. I looked like a vagrant Bigfoot. Just
Which your wife loves, and story for another time.
Yes, another podcast. Yeah. I'll write that down on the.
So you pull up to get her mower,
partly her mower. And I'm just
go do some work. What's taking her so long?
Yes. Hey, where's your mower at?
I thought you keep taking my mower. I gotta have this thing on the clock.
Can you park it down there? It's easier for me to get. So,
oh my God.
Well, and to land the plane on that, I had caught wind of that eventually, like the next year, and I was able to go to them and say, "Listen." I was mortified when I found out that was actually partly your mower.
Yeah.
But I need you to know, like, I had no clue. Also, thank you for helping me start my business. Like, I think at that point they knew I wasn't like taking advantage. Like, I didn't know, but also like you guys, and I'll see them every couple years now and I'll go, you guys helped me start my business.
So between the folks who helped out at the church and their kid, who are not church members, or at least go to the same church that we do, and kind of a tacit, from the Lord, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Lord, can I go into this? And he goes, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was it.
This is the empire?
Yeah, I guess so. Like that.
This is to me, this is so eye-opening because this is just how the Lord works with you.
Yeah.
I love it, man, because it doesn't take much. It's like, for you, it's like you move on your desires because you have a belief that they're his desires as well. If they are not, I think you're pretty in touch with what your flesh is crying out for. We were in the previous conversations went on, and what, like, your mind.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty in tune with what are your conversations. So whenever it comes in, to the Lord stepping in and him going, yeah, that's me. I want you to do that.
Yeah.
You just go and you rock it.
Yeah.
With nothing.
And I realize, and I think you know this because you've been my pastor for years, but like, I have little regard to like what is going on around me. Because years later, So it's cool to talk about starting this business and how cool it is. And now you're seeing me 10 years later, and I have, a multiple like commercial contracts. But like that first 3 years, I would wake up in the morning at like 4:30 to go open up Starbucks or Schmarbucks or Starbucks at 5. I'd work till 1, and then I'd load up the Bronco. I'd go back out sometimes, a lot of times until the sun went down. I did that for 3 years. 3 years straight. So and then when I was able to quit the coffee shop, years later, my wife goes, "Yeah, I was pretty unhappy during those times." And I'm like, "You could have said something." She's like, "Well, like, what were you think was going on?" I'm like, "I thought we were doing what the Lord said. Like, he told you to stay home. I thought you were happy because that's what you wanted to. And then he told me to do this." And I'm going, I need to be more aware of like
wait a minute,
the collateral damage of like walking out some of these things and like double back and check on. So like maybe it's maturity or now, but I'll double back and be like, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Still good?
We still good? Like, just want to be sure." I'll set a table for my wife and go, "Hey, are we okay?" So, but in those first years, I was just totally oblivious because I was just like, I had word and I was running on it, and I was like killing myself with work. And I think 3 years later, I had like a mental breakdown, and I think like you and a couple other guys are like, "This ain't good. It's not sustainable. Like, you're not okay." And it was bad.
Again, that's community, and then the Lord intervening when things kind of go off the rails a little bit. But you've made some. From my perspective, I started my little video production.
Your little podcast?
My little
podcast?
Not quite for the podcast yet, but I started the video production company a couple years after you did your landscaping push. And I remember thinking, like, some of the things that you knew to do, they're not common. Like, I have no background. What I mean is, I have no background in business. And so I have no clue.
Yeah.
As maybe I think your dad was a painter, so maybe you
a little
some
bit
of these things over the years from him. But you would make huge, to me, purchases of trailers, of equipment, risk of like doing jobs for free to make sure the client's happy, of paying for your employees to be able to get through the winter, coming up with jobs for them to make sure that they had money for their families, budgeting accordingly. And I remember thinking, like, how does he know how to do all the things that he doesn't do? Because I'm in my video business going, I can't make that purchase. I can't. I mean, like, I need that piece of equipment, but I can't pull the trigger on it. And you seem to be just like,
this is that Michael Scott moment I'm telling you about. Because
tell me about it.
Okay, there's that episode where they in the office where they figure out like, oh, his branch is the best branch. So they pull him into a meeting, and they know he's crazy.
Yep.
They know he's a goofball. Yep. They know he's going to be inappropriate, but they pull him into this big meeting like this, and they go, "How do you do it?" And he can't explain. So the best I could do is I could try to act like I know what I'm doing, or I can go, "I just trusted the Lord."
Yeah.
Every step of the way. Like, I'm getting ready to do exactly what you're talking about again. I'm about to bite the bullet on another like set of purchases.
How do you know to do?
I don't know, man. That's that Michael Scott thing I'm telling you about. Like, I
was
don't
hoping
know
that you would bring that around full circle, because when you said I'm the Michael Scott of landscaping, I was thinking you are the Michael Scott of landscaping.
I am. Like, I had a competitor he's done way more business than me, but we're friends. And he calls me because he caught me. We've known each other pretty much the whole time, like since 2015 when I started. And he has a problem keeping guys, like, and so he comes to me. He goes, "How do you keep your guys?" I have one here. Full disclosure, I have one guy, and I keep that guy fed pretty well. And he goes, "How do you find and keep your guys?" I'm like, "I don't know." I think you asked me that at one point. I'm like, I get on my knees and I ask Jesus to send me the next person.
All right. It's worth it to go into this. Tell us the story of when Jesus brought you the guy, not this guy.
The one
before 2 guys ago, or the guy before this.
The guy before this?
Uh-huh.
Are you talking about the girl?
No, I'm talking about the guy. You have so many good stories.
Let's
Let's go with the guy because you're talking about like hitting your knees and asking the Lord.
Okay, so I'm in this awkward spot. The first guy that I hired, he was off doing something different. Jesus had him there for character development, let's just say. So he left, and we're on good terms. We still talk to this day. And he,
good friend. I mean,
yeah,
dude's
son.
He's his son. He's probably going to be. He's going to be leadership in some sort of church body. Like, he's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. So we're coming in the tail end of winter, and it's about to pop off. Like, just, it's going to be busy. And my thought was, okay, I need to scale this down for me, which it's a double-edged sword. So, like, it's good in the sense that, like, I'll probably make the same amount of money, but I'll have a little more stress because it's going to be all on me. Like, it'll be just me. So, but my father had this mind. He had side helpers, but he mostly did everything himself. So, and he did that because it was less stress, because he knew he would do a good job. So he took the work that came to him. He never like super overloaded himself, and he kept everyone fed that way, So my mind was, all right, Lord, do you want to scale this down for me, or you want to start building this thing? Like, what do you want me to do? And he said, go hire this guy. And I knew who he was talking about. This wasn't a stranger. He was, you have like your core people in a church that come every week. And then there's like the outliers who come like every once in a while. And they're like the friend of the friend.
Oh, yeah. You know I do. Don't admit that word. Go ahead.
Yeah. Those are the guys that you're always praying for, like, to come in. Yeah. So he just got out of a mental health facility. He was not okay. We'll do a shortened version so we don't embarrass anybody. He was not okay. He was held up in his aunt's house, and he was in a dark room. He literally just left his last job, just like walked off the job. He's like, nope, not gonna do that. They told him to go like change his shorts or something, and he's like, nope. So he went home, and he held up in the back room, and with the shades drawn, just hating life. And so the Lord says, go hire this guy. And I'm like, I am not hiring this guy. like I know you're the creator of the universe, but you are out of your mind. This is a bad bet. And he goes, go hire him. I was like, all right. So I call his girlfriend. I'm like, hey, do you feel comfortable ratting your boyfriend out? Like, where is he right now? He's like, well, he's at his aunt's house, and he's, I was like, okay. So she texts me the address. She totally ratted him out. He had no idea it was coming. So I go to the front door, knock on the door, and I was like, hey, is he here? And they're like, yeah, let me go get him. So he comes out, you can tell he's been sleeping all day. It is the worst interview in the history of interviews. Like,
walked off my last job. I've slept all day, and I have no intention of being here.
Hair's greasy, unkept. Like, you're like, and the Lord, I go up to the door. He comes up to the door. He kind of knows of me. We met a couple times, and I was like, hey, I was praying, and the Lord told me I need to come here and offer you a job. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, all the outside appearances were completely uncharacteristic of this young man. Like, completely. Like, it's one of those moments, like the Lord sees the heart. Because I would say to date, he's been one of the best employees I have, and I still use him sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I still use him. I'll call him and go, hey, can you do this one-off job for me? He's like, yeah, absolutely.
What's incredible, too, is he rode for, a couple years in your truck?
Uh-huh.
Couple years in your truck, and he went from dark.
He was dark. Yeah.
To one of the most trusted God hearers that there is. We were teasing the other day, like, if we can't get in touch with one another to check out, like, hey, is this the Lord?
Yeah.
It's like, this cat's on.
Well, if I can't get a hold of Jared, if I can't get a hold of Dave,
Dave's out, Jason's out.
I'll call Seth.
There's like 2-3 more boys.
Yeah.
That are like they're gonna hear.
Yeah. He's one of them.
And
that's the one story I have, and it's funny. I don't realize like how.
And now he's doing the thing that you're doing, not landscaping, but he's leading his family, going into.
I didn't know that part.
Going into business. What voice of the Lord thing?
Oh yeah, voice of the Lord for sure. Yeah. No, he's getting it. Like he's to the best of his ability. He tries to hear and walk out and do, and it's incredible. Like. And I know, like, when I see what Jesus says, I feel like just a little part of that.
Yeah.
And that's all I want. I just want that. I want to be like at the front row. That's it. I don't need to be on the stage. Like, I want to be the asterisk. Like, I just want to, like, in the story of your life, there's an asterisk. Like, yeah, he rode in a truck with this guy.
Right.
With Bigfoot for a couple years.
That's it.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
So it's so funny.
But no, he's one of those like I didn't realize how offensive some of those stories are. I went to like a family reunion, and I'm just excited to talk about what Jesus is doing and what he's done, and so I'm telling
who wouldn't be,
right, rightfully so. So I'm telling another believer,
he's transforming my family and business. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm telling a family member who just sold a business. I mean, they built something substantial in their life. And I'm telling them this cool story about this guy from a mental institution, offered him a job, and everything Jesus did. And now he's like, I think, he's leading worship. He helps us lead worship now. And then we get out in the back end of the day, and my wife goes, "Do you realize how much you offended her with that story?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "She's a businesswoman. She has sold her business for an ungodly amount of money, and you're telling her that story, and you could see on her face that was the worst thing you could have done." I'm like, "She didn't hear the back end of that story where Jesus like totally redeemed it all, and like
he totally
redeemed himself." And she's like, "It didn't matter. Like that story was offensive." And I'm like, "Well, I'm
here, baby."
I was like, "I'm glad you told me. I'm going to keep telling it. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. That's your problem."
Sounds like a you problem.
That sounds like you problem. If you can't hear Jesus in that story, like, and if you knew the guy before and you meet the guy now, it's a totally different guy.
He's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to tell his side, but a portion of his side is that he knew he was in a dark place. He's crying out to God, and there's a knock on his door.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that.
Just the symmetry of it all. So we're going to need multiple podcasts to cram in all the good stuff that's going on. But let's leave it with this. Since the American dream is still alive.
We've been going that long?
No,
man. Keep going.
We've been going a while.
Keep going.
If the American dream is still alive and well, what are the breadcrumbs that you would leave? Now we've gone back through your story a little bit. What would you say? Here are the things. Work hard.
I'd say like just like I'll break it down into two different camps. Like there's like the worldly, like if you just want some nuggets like from another business owner and God isn't your thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I would say don't make excuses. Just, I'll probably make a call today after this and go, "Hey, kind of dropped the ball on this. Sorry." Don't make excuses. Just be honest. I can't count how many times I've like just got on the phone with somebody and just was honest. Like even when I tell them I can't do the job, they're just happy that I called back and was just honest with them and said, "I'm not doing that. I can't do that." Honesty, not making excuses. I don't know. I would say there has to be part of this that you kind of enjoy what you do. Like I'm not going to get into hotel management anytime soon because I've done that and I hated it.
It needs to line up with your passion.
I like. There's like we joke about the Bigfoot thing, but like there's like a wildness to me. I like before I came here, I was covered in dirt and mud, and there was part of me that's like, yeah, like this I kind of like this. And so you kind of have to like what you do, and if it's all for money, then have fun, like accumulate your wealth and check out. But which leads into, I would say, if you are a believer and you're trying to start a business or do something like that, I would say, like, to the best of your ability, pay attention to him, honor the things he honors, which is people.
Yeah.
He honors people.
Yeah.
He's blessed. I kind of, it's like another story, but like I kind of was able to see, like, the moment I start honoring JJ and like his pay and like him, like he is who he is. He has limitations, but the moment I start going like, I think Jesus wants to do something with this kid, and like started honoring him in that way, because he's been like, I think this is his 3rd year, so he's been going 2 years now with me. The moment I start going like, this Jesus, if he did something with me, he could do anything. He could do something with this kid. And so I honor him as best as I can with, pay, with, just treat him like a person, that kind of thing. Is there times where I have to like get onto him? Yeah. Like that's just part of being a boss, and that's just part of it. But the moment I start honoring the things he honors, which is people, like I saw a huge jump in revenue. Like
For real.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about that because I had a pastor tell me, like, you need to scale this thing. Like you get, and you're like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, it is like we've done 10 to 15% year over year for the last 3 years, 2 to 3 years, which is that's a big deal. Like
15% increase on your overall.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's about the time JJ came in, and I'm like, I think Jesus wants to do something with this kid. Like, and now the funny part is like he's the benchmark in his family. It's like, why can't you be more like JJ? He's got his stuff together, But it has, I don't know. I think it has little to do with me and everything to do about him and what he wants. He wants to honor JJ, and so I, to the best of my ability, try to honor JJ, and yeah, so that's awesome, man. Those are the nuggets. So,
well, are you, my own curiosity, are you going to be venturing, because up until now you have really stayed off of anything online.
Yeah.
I know you don't like to be much on socials. That's not really your world for the social aspect of it. But are you going to be looking into doing anything online? If so, all I'm getting at is, if we happen to have anybody who's watching locally that wants to get in touch with you and reach out, is there any way that they can find you?
I am off Facebook, but my business is on Facebook. It's Restoration Lawn, Stephenville, Texas. Cutting grass.
Especially when it's raining. It rained a lot this morning.
Locals call that gully washer.
Yeah, that's a gully washer.
That was, I mean, when you live in a prefab home and that wind goes and you could feel your home moving, there's a little fear. just peed just a little bit. When you wake up from that, you're like, what is happening? And your wife's like, hey, like, should we go to the barn? Our barn is like concrete reinforced, so it could take a rocket launcher. My house can fly into the side of it and we'd be okay. And so it's like, hey, do we need to get to the chemical room? I'm like, I think we're going to be okay. Looked at my phone and it didn't show tornadoes. We didn't hear any sirens. And the funny part is, anybody who's not listening, like anybody who's listening that's not from Texas, is going, you people are crazy. Why wouldn't you?
I was actually out in some trenches the other day with a guy from California. And he's like, I just saw the movie Twister whenever I was a kid. And I was like, no, that's not real. He's like, and then I moved to Texas. And I'm like, I don't know that I like it here. I don't feel safe.
They have no reference other than Twister. And in that movie, they're joining together. They're becoming 3 and 1.
The takeaway is, find yourself a Dodge Ram.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's what, 2000s?
And it'll drive through houses. I mean, it'll never get stuck in the mud. Go through tornadoes. Doesn't lift off the ground. It's like a tank. Yeah. Jason Ogle, thank you, good sir. I'm going to pull a David, which is my father-in-law.
Yeah.
and say all of the things that I would probably never tell you to your face. Dude, you're an amazing friend. You're an amazing business owner. You're an amazing father. And I am blessed to have had you on the podcast. You're going to be around a lot more, especially during your off seasons. I'm hoping
we can crush
here so we can crank
during the winter. We can crank these out.
So I hope the listeners loved it because you'll be around.
No,
so man. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Boom, boom.
Wait, so
that's one. My blood is the reason we're wrapping that way. My blood is asleep, bro.
Aliens in the Bible, man. Let's get after it. Come on, we have this. Let's go. Come on, man.
Aliens in the Bible.
Come on, transubstantiation. Come on, man.